Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the 2014 National Electronic Sports Tournament here in Shanghai, China. It's, of course, LGD Gaming versus Speed Gaming Nantong or Speed Gaming China. Best of 3 series for the quarterfinals. Already into game number 2, the draft underway. LGD with a solid 1-0 lead. Speed Gaming, they've got to win this one or else they are done. They will be out of the tournament. It is single elimination, something to keep in mind for later. As, well, our next matchup after this one's pretty exciting. But before we talk about that, let's talk about this one. LGD versus Speed Gaming coming up. My name is Maut. With me today here on High Ground TV is F4L. What's up, man?
Not much. Hopefully we get a game as good as the last one. I actually think the last game was pretty good. Speed Gaming showed a really strong showing in the early game, which sort of surprised me. I thought they might just lose the early game and then sort of lose out to LGD's superior team fight, but they had a really good showing in the early game.
LGD
Piao on the mid Brewmaster put up a solid performance against Siler in the 1v1 lane.
Yeah. And
the Undying was just doing so much work early game.
Yeah, but that's the story of the Undying, I feel like, is just like you have this such solid lead coming out with, Tombstone and obviously your Flash Golem, and you become almost impossible to deal with. And then LGD were like, all right, we're going to take a couple of team fights with Exorcism and Chronosphere. We're not even going to really farm. We're just going to kill you. And then all of a sudden, LGD overran Speed Gaming. So, a bit unfortunate. They opt for the Brewmaster yet again. They do ban out the Skywrath. We've always talked about, and I know you've always mentioned this, is Centaur as a counter towards Speed Gaming, or rather Brewmaster. Do LGD pick it up? No, they go for the Tusk again, because why fix what isn't broke? Which, I mean, MMY, his Tusk is probably legendary. And honestly, it's a good choice here for LGD.
Mm-hmm. And it could be one of those things where they think that it might get respect banned out in the second phase, and they just want to secure it in the first phase, and they don't really think that there's anything really that they want to secure early. So they just go ahead and pick up the hero for themselves. Speed Gaming are going to go with the Brewmaster. I think it put up a solid performance in the previous game. He got his blink at a reasonable timing, and he also killed Siler 2 times in the 1v1 matchup, but he did get rotated on after that and died both times, but was very solid on the hero, so definitely a priority for them. LGD are going to go ahead and pick up the Razor to counter the Brew in the mid lane, and Jakiro is going to come out for Speed Gaming.
I like this choice. We saw it work really well for Yao, and I imagine it's going to be in the core for Speed Gaming this time around. I think this is a good choice for them. Faceless Void wasn't touched at all in the first pick or ban phase, so LGD didn't grab it. They already grabbed the Razor, so I imagine that'll get banned out here. I imagine Centaur probably gets banned out because Speed Gaming might not want to deal with that. They do ban out the Earthshaker as well. And there's a lot of options still. Like it gets banned out. That's a hero we don't see that often, I think, from the Chinese teams. But teams like, obviously, like EG run it all the time. But it's a good choice.
Yeah, I think we're actually going to see a resurgence of Lycan. I've been seeing more and more Lycan as teams sort of experiment with it. I think people may have overreacted to the changes of Lycan because if you think about it, sure, it was a nerf to his split pushing potential, but was it really a nerf to the hero itself? Howl is still the same, his passive's still the same, Wolves are still the same. The only thing that was changed was his ultimate. They reduced, I believe, the attack time. They made the attack time a bit worse on the ultimate, as well as, giving it the shapeshift, sort of like Lone Druid's shapeshift time. So it's, I believe, 1.5 or 2 seconds
I think it's 1.5,
to turn. Yeah, but then he gets 650 move speed instead of 512, or 522. So that was buffed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to start seeing this hero again. So, and they probably just don't want to play against it.
It's annoying to deal with. I mean,
yeah,
you think about ridiculous amounts of damage that it can pump out, but also on top of that, we talk about split pushing, and with 1 or 2 pickoffs, you could just take Roche with it as well. So no surprise that LGD take it away. They will ban out one more hero before we see them pick their next hero. Void was banned out last for Speed Gaming because we saw what In July can do with that. I feel like Yao, In July, and Salar can just rotate around and take different roles and play in different varieties. And they ban out the Morphling, interestingly enough. Speed Gaming, they're not going to be able to pick that one up, and now LGD Gaming has the pick here. So they pick up Doom. So
Radiant team pick.
Interesting pick. We haven't been seeing much Doom, although I think the hero is still strong in the off lane. He just has to build an Aghanims now, and he gets a very similar effect. I mean, with an Aghs, he's the same hero as he was before. He still disables passive with the Aghs, and the damage, I believe, is exactly the same once you get the Aghs. Now, I'm curious to see if Speed Gaming's Jakiro is going to be a core or a support.
10 seconds remaining.
I know we saw LGD in the previous game run it as a core hero,
5
but
seconds
I'm not
remaining.
actually sure. I haven't watched much Chinese games recently, and I'm not sure if
Reserve time.
it's been a trend that they've been having where Jakiros are being run as a core, or if they're just being played as a support. I know I've seen Vici run it a couple times, but it's always been FY playing it as a support, so...
Let's wait and see. They will have reserve time now for their next pickup, and once we get through the draft, then we'll have a better understanding of who's going to be playing what here for Speed Gaming. But for LGD, the Doom pickup is huge against a Brewmaster, assuming he gets that Doom off in the first place. So maybe like a Blink would be helpful. Witch Doctor comes out for Speed Gaming as well. I think they nerfed the cast point of the Brewmaster Ultimate, so it's a bit easier for him to get silenced and doomed than it used to be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm incorrect about that. But...
No, they did.
Okay.
So they nerfed... Okay, the total time of split is the same. Basically, they nerfed the time from when he's like in his stance, and then he like splits into 3. They made that time increase, but then they made the time from when he actually splits into when the
10
Brewlings
seconds
appear.
remaining.
They reduced that, so the overall time to split is the same. There's just
5
more time where
seconds
you can
remaining.
cancel the split, if that makes sense.
So the past couple of days, like especially yesterday,
Reserve time.
we saw the Scarith Mage, I believe, I think it was for Tong Fu come out, LPC, and he canceled so many Brewmaster splits just through Ancient Seal alone. And Doom's the same thing. I mean, obviously a bit longer of a cooldown, but still is going to be really good at canceling and making this Brewmaster's life a living hell. Crystal Maiden coming out from LGD. Speaking of resurgence, well, she's coming back into the scene now, man, and she's able to jungle a lot, and I think that's the reason why.
Yeah.
And good ultimate, too.
She's a very strong hero, strong ultimate, and people have been maxing the aura, so they've been going like 1 point, or max Crystal Nova, max aura with 1 point in Frostbite
10
and
seconds
ultimate.
remaining.
And this basically just allows your team to use mana with impunity. I mean,
5
Doom is an
seconds
offlane
remaining.
hero that actually needs to use a lot of mana. I mean, it's 60 mana on Devour, and once you get it to max level, it has a 40-second cooldown. You know, Scorched Earth costs quite a bit of mana, Doom costs quite a bit of mana, so this hero, while having a very limited mana pool, is constantly using mana, but he doesn't really have good regen or, you know, he has a lot of mana problems. So picking up the Crystal Maiden, definitely good. Razor can also utilize the mana regeneration by spamming the plasma fields. Tuskar can use it by spamming his spells, so very good pickup in the Crystal Maiden. And I imagine their last pick will also utilize mana in some way.
And I also think that they alleviate some of the concerns for Crystal Maiden in terms of her well-being and her just dying consistently with the Tusk. Because Tusk, again, we saw in the last game, it's an AoE disruption, and that's how I'm going to describe it. It's an AoE saving life utensil coming out for LGD Gaming. So they have that ability to keep Crystal Maiden alive just through a snowball alone. But Speed Gaming, they're going to get off to this early game aggression again. They have this Nature's Prophet, and I imagine they're going to have him TP around the map.
LGD Gaming's
And
turn
this
to
is what
pick.
we saw in the first game. Speed Gaming going for early game fight, and LGD pick up. It's not too much late game. I guess Razor and Doom are mid game oriented. They can go late game if they need to, and that's fine. But it's certainly they have later game heroes than Speed Gaming, maybe with the exception of the Nature's Prophet. But
Yeah. LGD definitely have, I would say, a bit better late game at this point just because of the Doom, the Razor, and I think Crystal Maiden, if she's able to get her items up, is very strong going into the late game.
right.
And I believe
5
they were
seconds
actually looking to pick up this Ember Spirit, and it was definitely a good ban from Speed Gaming. LGD sort of showed that they wanted to pick it by banning out the Viper, and it's also quite good in the mid lane against Brewmasters, so good ban from Speed Gaming. And LGD go ahead and last pick the Bristleback, which I am assuming we will see in the mid lane going up against the Brewmaster.
Oh, and the Terrorblade last pick. So much for that late game. But Cocoon is playing another hero that is susceptible to ganks. I mean, he played a Razor last game, which, I mean, you have abilities to get away. Obviously, your Unstable Current helps you survive, and he died consistently. And now he's playing this squishy-ass Terrorblade, and I'm kind of concerned for Speed Gaming, especially because there's a Bristleback, like you talked about, which, by the way, a lot of the Chinese teams have been picking this up. LV Gaming, ZYF has been playing this a ton, and now Yao's going to be playing it for the Bristleback. I think this is a great pickup coming up from LGD, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's a strong hero. I think putting Bristleback in the offlane might not be as good anymore. I think he needs to be a position 1 or 2 hero, and I think that's what we've been seeing a lot more. I know I've seen Alliance run him, I believe, with like a Wisp in the safe lane. And I've seen a couple other Western teams running him safe lane.
For battle.
And when this hero starts getting up a lot of farm, I mean, he is really scary once you don't really have... There's a point in the mid game where you just don't have enough damage to deal with him.
Right. That's kind of frightening. So, I mean, they're going to try to avoid that at all costs, though. That's the thing.
But Terrorblade definitely a hero that does not lack the damage. So if Terrorblade's able to survive, he's going to just melt through all of these LGD heroes.
Okay, so I clicked on the Crystal Maiden. And click on her and see if you see the same thing I see. Are you serious? Volvo, please. That's too lewd for the children. Come on, guys.
What's going on?
That's hilarious. That's just the best thing I've ever seen.
Is that a set thing?
What set does... I don't think so. I've seen the set so often, it definitely shouldn't be. All right. We're rated PG-13, friends. Close your eyes, small children, for if any of you are joining us.
Wait, it's actually really funny because if you click on all the other heroes in the game, their portraits are being shown correctly.
Yeah, it's just her. It's literally just the Crystal Maiden.
Oh, man. Well, some good comedic relief coming out from Volvo.
Well, I mean...
God bless Skaven.
Yeah, seriously. What a guy. So here we are, going to jump into the game, all PG-13 aspects aside. Speed Gaming will have LWY playing your Nature's Prophet up at the top lane. Mid lane, it is going to be Piao again on the Brewmaster. And down bottom, defensive try coming out. Melody Lovers on your Witch Doctor. Cocoon on your Terrorblade. And Nove will be playing your Jakiro for Speed Gaming.
And then on the side of LGD, we have Yao in the off lane playing the Bristleback, being accompanied by MMY on the Tuskar. In the mid lane, we have Sylar playing the Razor. In the safe lane, we have Injali playing the Doom. And in the jungle, we have Faith on his Crystal Maiden.
And he's going to be jungling early on. He gets the early point in Frostbite. And he'll be fine getting up some levels as well. And I think Sylar in this matchup mid is going to be just fine. I mean, Static Link is so good against Piao. He's going to have a rough time. This is a lane-winning matchup for Sylar here. And I imagine he'll do just fine with this. He's already got 4 last hits as well. So.
Yep. And I believe Doom will do quite well in this 1v1 against Furion, although he did opt for the Stout Shield first. I prefer to see Boots at level 1 when you're against a ranged hero, just because when Furion goes Boots and you don't have Boots, you're going to have a bit of a rough time. But he should do just fine as he is in the safe lane, and he's also going to have the support of the Crystal Maiden, and Doom... I mean, Furion should be a bit weary of being ganked by the Crystal Maiden, so...
This is...
And...
He's fine, actually, though. He will.
These are like the worst spawns that Faith could have possibly gotten. Actually, I mean, the optimal spawn for a jungle Crystal Maiden is the Hellbear Smasher camp, as you can just bite both of them, or even the Wildekin camp, because you can bite the big one and then kill the small ones. But he actually got the Troll, which is pretty terrible to get, and then a Satyr camp.
Even a Centaur would be fine, honestly.
The
like
Centaur
anything.
camp is really good too. Yeah, honestly. These are just like the 2 worst camps, I think, to get at level 1.
Yeah, it's not good. He's going to clarity up and come in and look for a Frostbite. He's going to harass out LWY. He's not going to Frostbite the hero, but bottom lane, MMY has really not shown his face in lane. He will take the bouncy room, but he's getting harassed by Nove. The Liquid Fire is going to go. There's the Dual Breath as well, and MMY is just going to take a lot of harass there. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Yao is trying to harass out the Terrorblade. Cocoon is getting free farm, though. They're not rotating. They're not really trying to get kills on him, and Cocoon wasn't able to get farm in the last game. Can he get farm this game is the question.
Yeah, and he's doing a pretty good job. 14 last hits. I think that's free farm. He's missed 2 last hits so far. And they're going to make it go on Sylar.
Yeah, the cast goes in. It bounces as well. Unbelievable. Piao getting first blood coming in. I think we saw that last game where Sylar got caught out of position with the rotation. And with the haste rune, he was looking for another clap on MMY, but he decides not to dive that far, and he'll back up towards the tower.
I think they may have secured that anyway just because they had the haste rune on the Panda, but very good RNG for the Witch Doctor. He's able to pick up the kill onto Sylar.
Sylar was having a good time.
I mean, this Panda is struggling immensely.
Yeah.
He's only at 6 CS right now.
Yeah, that's really the issues. I mean, he gets the kill, but Sylar's still eclipsing him in total CS by a wide margin. So Sylar just continues to zone him out, and maybe they'll get a kill. Scorched Earth top lane, LWY is like, I'm backing away. See you later, buddy. Bottom lane, they aren't really taking care of Yao, but now there's the Terrorblade Metamorphosis coming out with Conjure Image, and apparently it doesn't last nearly long enough. He must have used it a while ago, but they're going to put some pressure on the tower with the illusions, and they'll try to take this down. But for the most part, Yao doesn't seem to mind.
Yeah. And they're actually giving this Bristleback a lot of space to get experience, as I missed the kill in the mid
I
lane on
missed
the
it too
Panda.
completely. And Sylar comes in, they get a rotation from MMY as well as Faith to get the kill on the Brewmaster. So as tough of a time as he was having, it's even tougher.
Yeah, it looks like it was just a smoke rotation to mid lane. And in the top lane, we've got 16 CS, 15 on the Nature's Prophet, so Doom is doing perfectly fine in this lane, and he's just going to end up out-farming the Furion due to Devour. I'm wondering if he's going to opt for a Midas first item, since he's in the safe lane, or if he's just going to go for like a... There's actually quite a lot of item builds that you can go. You can go like Mana Boots Mech, which I've seen. You can go Midas into a standard build of... I mean, there's actually just so many builds, like Tranquil Boots into Aghanims, maybe even, or a BKB Rush.
There's a lot of options, and that's what I like. I like when you have options coming out. And what they need to do for LGD is, I think, there's a double damage now on Yao. They should focus on Cocoon, but I don't know if they're going to rotate down anytime soon. I think they'd rather focus on the Brewmaster so he doesn't get an early Blink Dagger and kind of disrupt the flow of the game. I think that's what they're going for. Mid lane, they do have the Jakiro nearby to help out if they rotate on him, and MMY and Faith haven't been spotted out yet. There's no Observer Ward for the Radiant squad, so they could easily get this kill. Frostbite's going to fly. Piao is in some trouble. Static Link, there's the clap going in right now. Ice Shards as well. There will be a TP coming in, and there's going to be the Ice Path as well. They will not be able to get the kill. He steals a lot of damage, but the cask is going to go, and Sylar in trouble. He's got Snowball. MMY's got to use it and will. And now they might be able to get away. Piao's going to get stunned up. One right click. They can't get it done. The clap goes out. There's the Crystal Nova, the Ice Path as well. Buyback. They really want this kill. He TP's in Sylar. He has no static link damage anymore, but he wants Nova at the very least. The high ground is the Plasma Field will secure it. And they're maybe going to chase after Melody Lovers. They have the Sigil coming through as well. There's going to be the cast coming in on July. He's low. Static Link coming in. Now the TP coming out from LWY. He'll secure the kill, but Melody Lovers, the Sigil is doing so much work from MMY, and Sylar will get the double kill, but he does buy back to get that done. And now he's wrapping around LWY.
Furion is going to fall here.
He needs to buy TP. Well, he's actually dead. Yes, they had the vision. Triple kill from Sylar. Boom, he gets it done.
Yeah. Really good buyback from Sylar. Had the presence of mind to buy back, come back into the fight, get a triple kill. And honestly, I thought that was going to go way worse for LGD. I actually think that Witch Doctor is sort of overcommitted. He's like, oh, there's a really low HP Doom. I'm going to cast him and try to right-click him. And then Razor links the Witch Doctor, chases him down, gets a lot of stolen damage, is able to kill him, and then is able to pick off the Furion as well.
Cocoon in some trouble. Great Ice Path yet again. Conjure Image comes in. Yao now turning his attention to LWY here. MMY is looking to get out. Nove is doing some work against him, and he's going to die to the Liquid Fire. No, he stays alive with a couple of HP in the bank. Now LWY getting right-click down. There's going to be the Quill Sprays coming in. There's the Crystal Nova. Faith coming to work, and he's going to punch in and grab a kill. That'll actually be Yao's double kill going through. They don't get Cocoon, but they zone him out of that bottom lane, and they secure 2 kills on the back end of all of it.
It's also worth noting that he didn't have Sunder at level 6, so had they been able to keep chasing, they probably would have been able to kill him. And Yao is doing so much work in this bottom lane. 2 kills. He's got his level 7. He's got the power treads up. I think he
hits as well.
Yeah. And I mean, he was against a tri-lane.
He's going to get cast. He might be in trouble here. He only has 1 point in the Bristleback coming. They actually can't chase him down.
Oh, he opted for the point in Goo. That's interesting. I mean, you see a variation of skill builds coming out from Bristlebacks.
Oh, Piao right-click down. Faith coming in with the Crystal Nova, and actually MMY helping out as well with the Ice Shards. You talk about the build for Bristleback, and this is what I saw yesterday as well from ZY. They did the same exact build. It was the early Viscous Nasal Goo point, and then only 1 point in the Bristleback, and then max the Quill Spray.
Okay.
So, you might get caught out.
I mean, sometimes you see the max Bristleback with the Quill Spray, but it just
you don't
all
have
depends, I
chasing
guess.
presence. They want to be aggressive early on with him, and they've done a nice job. There's the Frostbite coming in. There is no Sunder still. Ice Path goes again. Plasma Field and might catch the Cocoon low. A couple right clicks, and the Crystal Nova should secure this kill, and they will bring him down. Now they're chasing after Nove. Yao might dive this tower. He's out of mana. He does have stick charges. Look at the Warpath damage coming in from Yao. He walks back into the Ice Path. Not that it matters. A double kill for Sylar. Oh, this is all of a sudden turning real sour for Speed Gaming. And we talked about getting farm for that Terrorblade, and that's just not happening anymore.
Yeah, Terrorblade's having a really tough time. Sitting at 46 CS, you know, leader in CS, but, you know, he just keeps having a bunch of heroes walk into his lane, and This Bristleback got too much early. As there's another kill in the mid lane that
I got that
completely
one.
missed.
I got that one. Don't you worry about it. They doomed him up, and then July gets the kill, and he'll actually pick the Midas as well.
Looked like a simple kill with the ice shards and the doom.
Yep, standard.
Yeah.
And so not only are they shutting down Cocoon, they're also shutting down Piao, although he is getting close to his blink, to be fair. So there's that.
Yep. But they're going to use the meta, try to push down this bottom lane.
Yao gets sprouted up. I think this tower's... Oh, wow, what a deny. That was impressive. That's a lot of damage you have to work with against Cocoon. That was really, really solid.
No, I mean, Cocoon has 170 damage right now.
Yeah, exactly. Plus images, I mean...
Yeah.
That tower is not the easiest thing to deny in the world, and so even when they get things going, they still get the tower deny off, and Speed Gaming are just like, damn, can we get anything going our way, please?
And in July has opted for the Tranquil Boots into Midas build. We'll see if he goes for the BKB or the Aghanims. I imagine he'll go for... I know in China the common build is to go BKB first, and then either a Blink or a Shiva's Guard. But we'll see if the builds have changed since the change to Doom, where it no longer disables passives, and you also don't get as much damage, I believe, as you used to.
He's gonna stack up a creep camp real quick, and he's gonna head back into the lane. There are a couple heroes top. They might look for a gank here. And Speed Gaming, they're just getting out-rotated. They're getting out-team-fought, especially. And that's what happens when you pick a lineup with, I mean, Ejikiro as a support. This Furion is a little bit, but he's not really been involved. Cocoon has not much, and when his Metamorphosis is down, he contributes nothing to a team fight. Ice Path, Sylar does deny the haste rune smartly. That was really smart from Sylar. He's gonna static link up on Piao and steal only 14 damage, so not that big of a deal, but... Down bottom, they actually are going to try to take this tower. They're going to cut the creep wave first and foremost from MY. And they're probably going to choke hold the jungle and make sure that I think Cocoon can't farm up as much as he wants to.
Yeah, they're just limiting the space from this Terrablader now. If they get the bot tier 1, they can ward up the jungle, have easy access to the jungle so that they can limit the Terrablades farm. It looks like they might be gearing up to defend as Cocoon does make a rotation into the bottom lane. We'll have to see.
I don't know if this is really... They might try to
Or is he just trying to deny
I
it?
think so. It's a good try. Faith does use the Frostbite to stop that,
fallen.
though. And Yao will take the tower. Nature's Wrath came out as well, but Tier 1 now gone, and Yao gets that kill. Looks like he's going for a Vanguard, I believe. He's got enough money for it. He'll probably build that into a Crimson Guard. Yeah, this has been the build.
Yeah,
It's
Crimson Guard.
always Crimson Guard now in Bristleback, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a Doom out on Piao, but it's not going to do anything. I mean, Vanguard has always been good on Bristleback, but now that you have the option to upgrade it into the Crimson Guard, and it gives you massive team fight with the, I believe is it 40 damage block on all of your allies?
I can check that for you.
Crimson Guard.
50
50 damage block.
It's pretty damn good.
So 50 damage. So basically the only person that's going to be doing any right-click damage to you is this Terrorblade when it's in Metamorphosis. Everyone else's right-click damage is pretty much almost entirely mitigated.
And it's so good against Terrorblade too because it blocks the illusions and makes them almost utterly useless. Jump in, split, they don't even clap up now. LW7 chasing after Sylar. Crystal Nova's gonna go. There's the Ice Path as well. MMY chasing everybody down still. Cannot get his snowball off and finally does get it done. Here comes in July. No Doom is up now. Yao chasing everyone down. Melody gets obliterated by poor Yao. LWY going down next. All the squishy heroes are taking a fall. Cocoon going to work on in July the Cyclone. Now the Brewmaster split is done. Faith with a double kill. And this might be a whole team wipe for Speed Gaming. For our dead and Yao. He will not chase after Cocoon. The only one to survive, the only one to fall for LGD was MMY, and they will take the Tier 1 tower on top of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were able to they got 4 kills there. The only one to survive was Terrorblade, but honestly, I mean, he's just not farming fast enough right now. He's got his Yasha, his Power Treads, and Ring of Aquila along with the Quelling Blade, but I mean, that's just not going to be enough.
No.
He needs to finish the Manta and Scotty before they even have a chance at winning team fights.
I feel like the problem is once your Crimson Guard is done, and they can even take Roshan because of Viscous Hazelgoo, they're just going to start mowing down heroes. It doesn't even matter if they're diving the Tier 3 tower. I don't know if they're killable on LGD's squad. I mean, you have a tanky Doom already. The mech is done for Sylar now. Doom is going to have a Shadow Blade coming out, which is an interesting decision, but not the wrong one, I don't think.
Shadow Blade. Alright. Okay. Maybe a bit of a trolly item, but you know, they're definitely in. They have a good control of this game, so I'm sure he can go any item, and they're probably fine with that.
Dire's middle
that's-
tower is under
It's
attack.
my assessment as well. Although Shadowblade's not like when you see a Shadowblade for Doom, you're like Shadowblade, but I think July could get away with this. They haven't. Really,
Yeah.
They're not really putting such wards down. They're not getting visions. So early on, this could be very effective to grab easy kills. And he's the leading in the net worth chart. So I think right now he'll head up towards top. They'll try to get a kill, and LGD will continue to farm. Maybe push down
I'm
the tier 1 tower top.
surprised that Cocoon actually just. I think he should just be split pushing. You know, farming out his jungle, maybe split pushing bottom. I'm surprised that he's actually just coming to these team fights. All he has is a Yasha.
He can't really.
He needs to be
fight.
farming.
He does. He has no health. I think still. Yao getting caught out. There is no Doom. Split is available. TP coming in. That'll be from Yao, the Bristleback. They're getting ready to fight. In July is going to push mid, I think, while this is all happening. Maybe not. TP coming in from the Nature's Prophet. They're going to back away. I think this is
And
the
if we
smart
take
play.
a look at golden experience, already a 10,000 golden experience leap coming out for LGD.
This is looking a bit rough.
Very difficult to come back. I mean, it's only 14 minutes in the game, and they already have such an advantage. So
Macro power coming in. LGD are going to look to push this top lane.
Radiant's top tower
Nature's Wrath,
is
I mean, they're
under
getting
attack.
pushed back. They have mech. They're going to mech up. And now, meanwhile, mid lane. Doom, they actually destroy LWY. And July is going to get chased down, though. His Shadowblade is not available. Blink Clap, they're spending a lot of time chasing in July down. Meanwhile, top lane will fall while this happens. So they do glyph the tower, but
Radiant's top tower is under
they will
attack.
grab the kill. Cocoon actually gets it done. And
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So Terrorblade gets the kill. Very important for him to get the kill onto the Doom. I'm not sure. Yeah, he got about 700 gold, I believe, for that kill.
he did, yeah.
So
Clap on
definitely
Yao.
good for him.
Yao is too tanky. He is taking literally no damage.
And I mean,
gonna
he
take
has
a
the
cast.
Crimson Guard as well.
I mean, he's not going to die. Piao actually has to split here, maybe. No, he'll actually just back away. He doesn't need split. He could have. I think they might have dove him, and he would have to split there, but they decided against it. So, Sylar picks up an Invis rune. Terrorblade goes back towards mid to push this in. And 15 minutes in, and it feels like LGD have a commanding lead. I don't know what you do for speed gaming other than get Cocoon farm and hope to God that he doesn't die in the next,
Dire's
5
middle
minutes or
tower
so.
is under attack.
Kind of interesting build coming out from Sylar. He opts for the, I would say, the traditional Chinese Razor build with the phase boots and rush into the mechanism, but I'm not sure if you can actually. I mean, he got away with it this game. Maybe it's okay when you have the CM regeneration, but usually you don't see this build anymore, typically because you don't really have the mana to sustain a mech on this hero anymore because of the recent nerfs to mech. But I suppose with the CM, still a viable option, and honestly, he probably would have done it anyways, even if he didn't have a CM, just because that's how these players operate. But
Yeah, you've talked about that where you get into build patterns and you just can't get out of
Yeah.
them.
Radiant's middle
Just keep
tower
building
especially,
these
I've
items.
noticed in the Chinese scene, they're typically quite slow to change their
Radiant
item
structures
builds
are fortified.
compared to Western players.
Yeah.
But looks like they're going to pressure this mid tower, and I'm not sure that there's any way that Speed Gaming can hope to defend this. They should just be split pushing, I think, with the Furion and Terrorblade.
Well, they tried that, and then the Doom came out for Cocoon. Meanwhile, Split does get off, and Yao now is going to have to back away. He actually is taking a bit of damage. Cyclone's going to go, and MMY does have his Snowball actually ready to go, and probably is going to use it here. He doesn't even need it. Yao's so tanky. But the Doom came out in the top lane, and they all rotated over to save Cocoon up in the top lane, so... And now there's no split. It's their time to go. Injuly doesn't have Doom either, but at that point, I don't think they're really caring. Macropyre go. It does nothing. It does
Yeah.
nothing. They take the tower. They're going to rotate out. Ice Path will fly.
Radiant's middle
All the
tower
meanwhile,
has
Sylar's the
fallen.
only one top currently. They might take this
Dire's
tower. The Glyph is going to
structures
go.
are
They're
fortified.
rotating. They're going to try to wrap around on this. Faith is looking to cut off any retreat path. And the rest of Speed Gaming are just sitting mid and farming it up. Here we go, though. Faith is going to lead the way. Meanwhile, the TP does come
Yeah,
out from
it's going to
the,
get denied.
Furion. There it goes, and Sylar will deny the
Dire's
tower.
top tower
Oh man, they
has
just
been
can't. They
denied.
can't get any tier 1
Yeah.
without it being denied.
I mean, they can't split push right now. They can't team fight right now. I mean, the Terrorblade's not in a position where he can 1v1 any of these heroes. He's almost going to be at his Mantis style, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
That was,
A really tough position right now for Speed Gaming. And it looks like LWY is going to get doomed in the bottom lane, and he's going to go down.
he's going to fall again. And this is the second time in July has done this, and he's just going to keep looking for both the Terrorblade and for the Nature's Prophet and make their lives a living hell. I mean, he is Doom after all. Mid lane, Yao does TP in. Piao is going to TP out. They're going to go on mid. They're going to take the courier. They're going to walrus punch it. MMY gets the kill on it. Has nothing on it, luckily, but just some extra gold going for LGD that they really don't need. But you know what? Why not?
Yep, and Brewmaster finally gets his level 2 primal split. I'm not sure if that will have any impact, but it will offer some extra teamfight control and then upcoming teamfight if they so choose to take one. And it looks like LGD's just going to move on into Roshan, and Yao picks up his Sange. I wonder if he's going to go for the Heaven's Halberd or just the standard SNY build. Probably going to just see the SNY come out. And it looks like...
I don't know. Again, and this is where I go back to last night, and ZYF actually did go for Crimson Guard Halberd.
Did
he? It's like literally the same exact build, honestly, that I saw
Dire
from last night.
structures are fortified.
I know that the old build on Bristleback used to be mech into Sange and Yasha, so I'm not sure. We'll have to see, I suppose.
I don't know. It could be either. I think either's fine in this situation. Fate's going to get Ice Path. They will finally take a tower that's not
Dire's
denied.
middle tower has
It's the cost of
fallen.
Roshan. Nove does TP out. That was very close. And they're going to head top down and just try to catch up Piao, who has no mana for his split, but he does have his Blink Dagger off cooldown.
Dire's top tower.
Dan
is
Angelai
under
picks up
attack.
his Aghanim Scepter, and if he catches out Cocoon right now, he's just gonna fall. I mean, Ags at this point in the game on Doom is just, yeah, he's dead.
I mean, everyone is, well, speaking... Oh, I didn't even know he was going for him. Down to the bottom lane, I missed that completely. Well, poor me. Cocoon gets caught out. He's down for 35. He does have buyback, but speaking of Acceptors, Razor has one as well, so that's frightening. It's actually flying out to him currently. And now I think LGD, they just have to play smart, and they can easily just secure a tier 3 tower. I mean, Cocoon doesn't have anywhere near enough farm to be effective. Jump in from Piao, he's going to split as well, and Faith might go down. The Crimson Guard's going to keep him alive for a bit. MMY can't get in. Cannot snowball as well. Cycling up, that'll be on Yao. He takes literally no damage. He's going to get a boulder tossed to the back of the head, and he'll just back away. So split for Crystal Maiden, it's probably worth it, I think.
I mean, at this point, you take whatever you can get. So if you can split for a Crystal Maiden, you just do it. I think it's so hard for them to come back, because the problem is right now is that Terrorblade can't split push. He just gets Shadowbladed and doomed, and he can't do anything. I mean, the Doom can actually just doom him and walk next to him, and he will die.
Assuming no one else is there, but
yeah.
I mean, even if somebody else is there, he still could theoretically die. Siler's going to take, or at least put pressure on the tier 2 tower top with Aghanim to drive the storm. And
well, because I believe a Doom at level 16 with Ags does over, I think it does 1200 and something damage, and it's pure. And this Terrorblade only has 1,000 damage, 1,000 life, so it will actually just kill him.
that's without anything else on top of it. That's frightening. Speed Gaming are going to run towards the Terrorblade. They actually are going to catch him out. They will sprout him. Jump and clap. Now the cast goes in. They will use the Death Ward, and In July takes a spill. Is this the go time for them to try to take the tier 3 tower mid? I mean, the glyph is available at the very least, so there's that. Now they have to actually all TP back home.
Radiant's top
And
tower
I don't know if
is
you
under
stay here for
attack.
LGD. He is going SNY. Darn it, I was so sure of myself.
Yep.
I
I mean, that's like the typical Chinese bristleback build, at least with the old build with the mechanism in SNY. So I just assumed that it would just be the SNY after Crimson Guard.
Yeah. I thought maybe we would try to shut down the
I mean, at this point,
yeah.
At this point, they don't even really care about the Terrorblade, to be honest. They can just doom him, and then he's kind of worthless. Oh, and he's gonna go for a Radiance. I can't agree with this. Yeah.
I really don't know about that.
I mean, he
also
has
don't
it.
know. I mean, that's great, but I mean that'll help him
Okay.
split push.
There is one thing about the Radiance. So Radiance will allow him to sort of he'll get like that Naga Siren effect on the map. So he'll be able to cut the waves, push out all these lanes. I'm just worried that when LGD see that he has a Radiance, they might just walk up onto the high ground.
They're gonna try. Split's gonna go. Yao actually might die here.
Yao might
He's
get
taking a
caught out.
lot of damage. Death Ward's gonna fly. Crimson Guard. He's still alive. Crystal Nova, but he will take a spill and he's gonna go down. He did pick up his SNY. Fade's gonna get chased as well. The right click coming in from Cocoon, and they will take him down. 2 kills, double kill for Piao. That's going to get them back in the game. And July is walking down mid lane. And they will not be able to get the usage of that level death off, so he can't stop the TP, but they actually back away.
You know, if LG didn't have this Doom, I would say that this game is recoverable because they just got 2 kills. The Terrorblade has his Radiance. Now they just bought a lot of time. He's going to be able to push out all these lanes with the Radiance. He's going to be able to probably get about 2,000 gold before even the next push comes out. But, I mean, this Doom hero is just going to do so much damage. If Terrorblade... So I checked it. It does 1,250 magic damage, or pure damage with the Ags in level 16.
Mm-hmm.
So until he gets about 2... He needs to finish a Manta and probably half of his Scotty before he can even survive the Doom. And that's assuming that Doom, after he Dooms, just walks away. So they're definitely in a rough spot when it comes to dealing with this Doom. And I don't know. I mean, I think the comeback potential is there. I mean, they have the Terrorblade, and they're going to go on... Are they going to be able to cancel the TP?
Yeah, they snowballed him. I was wondering why MMY was waiting so long. But...
they didn't have vision inside, but they were able to use the Frozen Sigil, which gave them vision, so...
And then they get the kill immediately, and... Well, I mean, LWY, this is how rough of a game he's had. He has a Hand of Midas and a Necro 1 at 24 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate. The split push is real, as they were split pushing bottom, they're split pushing top as well, as Cocoon is up here with his Radiance like you talked about. But now, it's time to go to the high ground. LGD
and this is what I was kind of worried about, is that once they saw that Terrorblade went for the Radiance, it basically just tells the other team to go, because...
Split's gonna go in. They can't get the Doom off now. They have to back away. MMY, there's the Death Ward coming in as well. They can't cancel Melody Lover's Death Ward. They finally do get it done. He got frostbitten. And that's a lot of the damage now down the drain. The Earth Panda is taking a lot of damage here. Is he the last one alive? He is. He's done, and he has no buyback either. MMY is low, but he's the only one low on the squad of LGD. There is a lot of right-click coming through. Silar Plasma Field's up. They're going to pop up the Ice Path as well, and they still want these Raxes. And Cocoon has the Metamorphosis. Yeah, he's getting earned as well. July's going to have to back away. He's going to have his Doom like you talked about, but he's not using it yet. LW7, or LWY rather, pushing this back. Yao getting pushed back as well, sprouted up. I don't know if they could... They shouldn't go outside the base, I don't think. Static Link's going to come in. Oh, that's not good. Silar's going to steal at least 150 damage. Yeah, they're ready to go. MMY... He's still dead. They're going to mech up. They're going to take down these Conjure Images. And soon he's not even going to have his Metamorphosis. LWY falls immediately. Buyback's available for him. He might have to use it. Rax is going to pop to Cocoon. His Metamorphosis is almost there. Yao is going to fall. There's the dude coming in from in July. And Cocoon is going to back away, and he might stay alive. They cannot get the range. Rax Siler's still working at it. Piao's going to come in as well. And Doom was expended, and they will not get the kill. It was very close, but no Scar. As Cocoon is still regenning up, although... He almost died there.
Yep, and no more meta. So I believe they can just group up. Maybe they'll wait for the next Roshan. But, I mean, this is LGD's game to lose at this point.
I think they'll get, at the very least, they'll take the range set of Rax, even if they decide to go. And the worst thing is that they lose all of their heroes, but they still have got the mid-Rax, and they'll probably go back to work with
And in July, working on his Refresher Orb already, he's at 16,000 net worth compared to the 12,000 of Terrorblade. So he's just farming out of control this game.
It's getting, yeah, the Refresher Orb's just going to be such a problem. I'm surprised he doesn't go for, like, I guess he has the Shadow Blade, so he doesn't need a mobility item. Speaking of mobile, MMY's his Blink Dagger, and Melody's getting caught out. There's the punch coming in. MMY's actually alone. He's got a snowball, but there's nobody here, and he actually...
Exactly sure.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Yeah. MMY with the casual feeds. But, yeah, I think, you know, LGD are probably actually just going to wait for the Rosh, I think. And it's going to be a 1 minute respawn.
That's
yeah, they're just going to constantly check Rosh, wait for it to spawn. They're not actually in such a hurry to end since this TB isn't actually farming out of control. I mean, it's almost 30 minutes in the game. He's got his Radiance and his Manta up. But that's not too concerning for what LGD currently have to offer.
There's the Refresher coming out from... Oh, my goodness. There's going to be 2 Refreshers in this game. Salah's going to have one, and, yeah. Well, and July's going to have one as well. I mean, they're getting pretty close to his. He's going to go top. Cocoon, I think, is actually just dead right now.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Cocoon. It was nice knowing you, my friend. Doom goes. He's going to try to juke him. Scorched Earth is going to keep him. Cocoon's pretty fast, but he's not fast enough. You can't run away from death, my friend.
Doesn't even matter. If he just gets doomed, he's actually just dead. What a silly hero.
Press your R button, there it is.
This is why Doom was so good for a long time. And honestly, I think teams have forgotten like how good this hero is in the late game because he's sort of been ignored. But
he's kind of good. Yeah, he's a pretty good hero. They're going to go to the high ground. Nova's out of position. He's going to force away. Necro Book coming in, and I think that's a Necro 2. Yeah. Death Ward is going to fly. It's doing some work, but the level death does cancel it. In July, Crimson Guard, BKB's up as well. Can they take down these Brewmaster Brewlings? Looks like yes is the answer. They're going on Melody Lovers right now, and yeah, it's just going to work. Again, time clock punched. 3 dead. In July, grabbing one of them. What else are they going to find here? They're going to go to the well. GG finally called. And LGD running over Speed Gaming. And LGD take a 2-0 series win. They'll move on. LGD, their time in NEST 2014 is done.
Yep. Not as dominant of a performance in Game 2 as I was expecting given their start. They were a bit sloppy in how they ended the game. I think they could have just went mid a couple times and just sealed the deal. But they're kind of like lazily walking around in the jungle, giving up a couple kills for no particular reason. But, you know, they come out with the win. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
And they show a pretty strong performance against Speed Gaming, who they were definitely expected to beat.
The thing is, they're going to have a tough matchup next, as they will face the winner of our next match, which is Vici Gaming versus Newbie, the match you've all been waiting for. Guys, make sure you stick around for that. That'll be in a few hours. I will have a countdown on the stream for when it does get underway. Again, my name is Maut. With me is F4L. Make sure you check us out. Twitter.com/MautDota, Twitter.com/F4LDota, and Twitter.com/HighGroundTV. Make sure you follow this channel as well. Twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. There's a lot more coming your way here in the next couple of weeks. So appreciate you guys joining. We'll take a break. We'll be back with Vici versus Newbie in a little while.